Hey guys, in this video I want to address something crucial that I believe was left out in Iman Gaji's latest course release that he did, the free versions at least, in episode 5 where he's talking about getting your first client. I believe is the founder of Lemlist that's on the video as well. And the thing I want to highlight is that this video was, apparently at least, marketed towards absolute beginners with no client acquisition experience. And what I wanted to highlight in this video is that they leave out in this video something very crucial that is actually necessary for you to get the results that you want to get, especially when you're just an absolute beginner and you have no client experience. Now, I don't want to shit on the video particularly, I just want to highlight that, at least it seems to me, that the intended audience of the video was of this sophistication level. However, if you are going to transition from this to the echelon where you're a starter agency owner, because that is essentially the transformation that this video is going to help you make, as well as the rest of this course, ideally, then I believe that in order to make this transition properly, to go from here to here, you need a very crucial piece of information and a reality check that I think is better served earlier than just left for you to sort of go out there into the world and just like be met with the bitter truth yourself. And so who am I and what gives me the qualifications to speak on this matter at all? Well, I've helped scale more than 30 partner agencies with outbound mainly, as part of a larger team at a bigger PE firm, private equity firm, each of them to more than 6 figures in annual recurring revenue. And I've myself generated more than 6.5 million in pipeline for one of my partner agencies, my client agencies, over the last quarter in less than 90 days. And added more than 120,000 to one of my client agencies in 37 days. This was an HR agency in the defense tech adjacent space as a growth consultant, mainly focusing on outbound and back-end AI infrastructure, but the focus was still on outbound. And generated results like these for my own business as well in the process. And you can see a breakdown I did of the exact same case study on my YouTube channel. You can find the video there as well. Now, before we start, it's very important to specify exactly which sophistication level this information is for, because there are levels of information that will not be useful to the very bottom rung, to absolute beginners, but will be very useful to the higher levels of sophistication. But this video is going to address people who are actually taking action on the content that they consume and are actually going to make this transition through implementing, through actually executing, not just procrastinating, and actually make the transition from absolute beginners who have no client acquisition experience whatsoever to beginner or starter agency owners. And so if you've watched videos like these, especially from mass market influencers like Iman, and again, no shitting on Iman whatsoever, I think he's doing a good job. I think he's like a good gateway drug to the entire space. But once you watch videos like these and you have no previous acquisition experience to speak of, you are more likely to go into this entire process with the expectation that, oh, I'll just make sure that I use this perfect killer script that's been given to me in the video. Like, I believe that was one of the things that was addressed in the video, like the perfect subject lines, the perfect copies, this and that, how to sign off properly in your code. While those are important, but that video gives you, or appears to give at least, the false expectation, the unrealistic expectation that if you just make sure that you have the correct copy, the best script, and you just pair that with massive volume because you've been fed this, it's not a myth per se, but this like line that volume negates luck. So yep, you're just going to go out there and blast thousands of cold emails to everybody that you can think of in your TAM, your total addressable market, through Lemlist or instantly or this and that. And then someone's ultimately going to say yes, because it's a numbers game and volume will negate luck. And so you go ahead, and then you're under the expectation that you'll just make sure that you build the perfectly curated prospect list, lead list from these websites like Apollo or Listkit. And you keep building up this expectation in your head, watching content like these, content pieces like these, that, oh yeah, and then you'll just blast the cold email campaigns, you have the perfect copy, the perfect lead list, you've done it meticulously, and you're using the scheduling software properly, you're setting up all of these different burner accounts and this and that, sending accounts, and then you'll just keep following up because nobody follows up, but you're going to be the special cookie that's going to follow up. And of course, you're going to follow up, and you're going to follow up with the best scripts as well. And the money's made in the follow-ups. So of course, you'll see results. And then once somehow you do all of these things properly, you tick all of the boxes, you will get that first client and you'll get that case study. And then it'll make getting the next client so much easier. And then off you are on a roll to getting to your 10, 20, 30K per month. Here you go. Well, though that might be the impression that is very easy to get from videos like these, especially those that are mass market, the reality is very different. And the reality does not agree with these expectations. Oops, sorry to burst your bubble. But the reality is, and this is very, very easy for you to all you have to do is like rub two brain cells together and just think. Just think logically. Every single person of, I don't know, like this video specifically, 120,000 people have viewed this video. Maybe 10% of them will take action, if that. So even being generous, let's say 5% take action, it's like 6,000 people. The reality is that everybody's going to be using the same scripts as you. All of these gurus that you buy courses from, they're going to be using the same script, the same templates, the same copy, the same outreach script. The source is not in the script, and this is only something that you really, really internalize and understand through experience. So this is me giving it to you. Everybody's going to be using the same scripts as you, or similar enough scripts, because the market adapts very, very quickly. At any time an outlier performing script, a hyper-performing script gets developed, gets found out in a particular niche or a particular market, it's usually the case that very quickly the top influencers, the top authority figures in that space disseminate that script to their students, and then that reaches the mass market, and then within 2, 3, 4 weeks, the script isn't special anymore. And so the source is not in the script, even though that's what you might be led to believe. And everybody's using the same lead generation databases as you to reach out to these prospects, to curate these prospect lists. And each prospect, realistically, gets the exact same offer, the same guarantees, many of which are really stupidly framed because, you can't really even fulfill them because you don't even have the skill to fulfill all those guarantees to begin with, more than 1,000 times every single day. So it's a no-brainer that you're not going to get responses. And even if you do, it's mostly going to be people telling you to F off. If they even don't just ignore you, if they even take the time to respond to you to begin with. And you are literally exactly the same as everybody else who saw the same videos, bought the same courses as you, are using the same templates, the exact same outreach scripts. There's nothing unique about you. Everybody can get an Instantly account and send out thousands of cold emails and get the same lead list from Apollo and ListKit. There's literally nothing unique about you. And nothing sets you apart. And so just use two brain cells, just rub two brain cells together and think. Only two things can happen. Either the prospect hasn't bought from the thousands of others like you. And if that is the case, then they have no reason to buy from you as well, because you're the same as everybody else. You just like everybody else, are a no name, no face, soulless person who just barged into their DMs and is forcing their offer down their throat. You're forcing your offer down their throat, so they won't buy from you. Or the prospect has already bought from one of the other thousands of people that have reached out to you, and their cold email has reached their inbox before yours. And so they've already bought from one of your thousands lookalike competitors. And so if they've already bought from one of them, they don't need the same service twice. So of course they won't buy from you as well. And the reality, all of this summed up, is essentially that you are a commodity. You are infinitely replaceable when you use this approach, where you just think that, you'll just make sure you get the perfect script, the perfect lead list from the same website that everybody else is using, the same outreach templates and scripts that the same course buyers are using, thousands of others just like you from the same gurus, and you're going to get results. You're not. Because you are a commodity. You are literally just like every single other faceless person out there from all over the world, sending these cold emails, pitching the exact same offer, the exact same guarantees, many of which are silly, to the exact same prospects every single day, thousands of times. You are a commodity, which means that even if somehow, by the grace of whatever is out there, you manage to get a positive response from a prospect, you will fundamentally be in a position of low status delta compared to the prospect, because you are reaching out to them and they aren't reaching out to you. There's many of you, but there's only one of them that's being reached out to by all of these people. And so you have lower status delta than them. You have negative status delta than your prospects. And so your prospects will have the leverage in the sales process, and they'll be able to dictate terms more than you, and they will micromanage you throughout the process. And delivery will be an absolute hell. Because the reason for that is because you are a commodity, you will only be able to charge low prices, which means that your margins will be very poor, which means that you won't be able to afford quality talent or systems or labor or information from that low retainer that you're charging to actually deliver quality results. And because the quality of the results that you deliver is poor, this will lead to bad word of mouth, leading to it being more and more difficult for you to get the next client. And you will have to keep getting newer clients every single month, or every 2 months, or every 3 months, because the prices that you're charging are low. They're not enough after you actually fulfill to pay the bills or keep the business running. And so you will have to be stuck in this hamster wheel of fulfillment hell. Now, if that is the reality, and it is, and I'm speaking from experience, and you can disregard this video as well, you will go out there, you'll actually gain some acquisition experience, you'll flail around trying to make this transition successfully, flail around embarrassingly, and then you'll actually learn from experience, from the pain of actually being in the trenches, actually trying to get clients into your business. And then you'll see that things are not as rosy as content pieces like these from mass market influencers might lead you to believe. Well, what is the alternative then? What do you do? Well, how do you actually get clients properly then if you can't just, use cold email campaigns like this? Well, 2 things. First of all, you owe it to yourself to watch these 2 videos. They're also on my channel. The first of all deals with how to get clients when you have no case studies, no testimonials, and no experience whatsoever, or results to speak of whatsoever. It goes deep into the step-by-step process that you need to take to make sure that you are not left empty-handed after 3, 4, 5 months of trying to get clients through cold outreach, cold DMs, cold emails, which were the exact shoes that I was in 2 years ago. And this breaks down the exact step-by-step process on how to get clients when you have no case studies and no results whatsoever. And then this video breaks down exactly how to not get yourself in the trap that content pieces like these might lead you to believe, and how to actually get clients instead of just blasting cold emails in a naked client acquisition mechanism. Once you do that, once you are sufficiently educated on the reality of the market and the reality of the processes that you're going to have to enforce on yourself, that you're going to have to undertake, the second step is to actually start building out a leveraged acquisition mechanism. What do I mean by a leveraged acquisition mechanism? Well, a leveraged acquisition mechanism is one that has content at the very core. This is the central pillar. Content at the center. And then everything else that you pile on top of that, be it outreach, paid ads, or referrals, they just add to this already strong spinal column that you build out with content. And each of these borrow their strength from content, and their returns get exponentially boosted, because with all of these things, when you don't have content, you are essentially trying to make this leap from attention by capturing attention, either through paid ads or referrals or cold email, cold outreach, and then trying to directly make this transition to an offer and then trying to close. But this is incredibly high sales resistance. Instead, and this is not scalable and sustainable at all. Instead, what you need to do is fill in this missing piece of educating your prospects, because we all, as human beings, hate being sold to, but we love being educated. And content allows you to do that at scale in a leveraged manner, 24/7, round the clock, while also building infinitely leveraged evergreen sales assets for your business. So how do you go about doing this? Well, this essentially implies building out this entire very high level overview, content infrastructure. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, let me walk you through this and give you a 30,000 feet high level overview. Well, you're going to have to direct attention to your offer. There's just no other way around this. You have to funnel attention to your offer so that quality and qualified eyeballs of the right quantity actually see your offer, interact with it literally, so that some of them can end up buying from you. If nobody knows that you exist or that your offer exists, nobody's going to buy from you. It's as simple as that. So you need attention to be directed to your offer. Now, this can be broken down into attention, attraction, and capture. So the first step, the very top of funnel layer, is where you actually attract and capture attention. And you do that through short form pieces of content that act as attractors. Or you could do just long form, or you could combine both, or you could just keep it short form. But you have these top of funnel content pieces that are meant to be attractors, be they short form or long form. These are top of funnel attractor pieces of content that are meant to capture and attract the largest amount of minimally qualified attention possible. Minimally qualified, this is key. because you don't want to niche down too specifically in the very top of funnel already. And then you funnel all of that minimally qualified. So you're not attracting unqualified attention, it's just as minimally qualified as possible attention into your middle of funnel, which is filled with chock full of long form pieces of content across various categories. You cannot have just one type of content. You have to have multiple types of long form content. And these could be mainly process selling VSLs, which are video sales letters where you actively break down the process by which you promise to get your clients the results and deliver the transformation that you're pitching in your offer. You have process selling VSLs that educate your clients on your prospects on your offer and why they should buy from you specifically, and about their pain points and how your offer will alleviate those pain points. And then you also have long-form case studies in your middle of funnel. These pieces of content will actually educate your prospect. Again, these are all educators. Will educate your prospects on how you have done it before. Now, again, if you don't have case studies already, that's no worry, because I cover exactly how to tackle that problem in this video. So you should definitely give that a watch if you're starting out. And then you should also have your unique stories and experiences to actually filter all of that technical value, that raw value that you're putting out through content. And you filter that with your own unique background, your own unique story and experience, to really decommoditize yourself, to make yourself stand apart from everybody else. So that not only do prospects end up wanting to buy your offer, they want to end up buying your offer from you specifically. And then, of course, live workshops and webinars which further nurture your content. All of these, what they're allowing you to do is actually take your prospects from being incredibly cold, low buying temperature to incredibly high buying temperature, where they're red hot, warmed up and pre-sold. And the way you do that, and the way this works, and the reason this works, and all of these different categories are necessary, is because these multiple pieces of content act to take your prospect from incredibly low buying temperature and helps them overcome all of the micro objections that they'll have before they can actually have enough trust and credibility in you to actually commit to your main offer. You have to help them climb these small mountains before they can climb the main mountain of committing to your offer specifically. And each of these content pieces across the different content categories actually attack the prospect's objections from different angles. And the reason this works is because then your prospect gets all of these objections handled already, and they're warmed up and they trust you because you've already exhibited your competence through your content. And they're warmed up and pre-sold and ready to buy from you. And you can then direct all of this attention, nurtured, educated, maximally qualified. So this was minimally qualified in top of funnel, and now this is maximally qualified attention down into your very bottom of funnel, where your appointment setting process can then funnel them into booked calls or sales conversations. And if you do this right, you can even DM close if you have enough authority built up, and then close them. And then once you close them and deliver results for them, this gets added to your referrals. And also, which then also goes back to helping you build better and better pieces of content showcasing those results that you've built. Oops. Now, this does not mean that you do away with cold emails or referrals. I mean, you don't even have referrals if you're just starting out, because you don't even have any client success stories yet. But you just do away with cold emails or paid ads altogether? No. But it's just, if you can't afford paid ads, and if you want to implement cold emails, and you obviously should, but it should always be as supplementary mechanisms, again, support pillars, just like here, to this main client acquisition column, this main column of content that actually educates and nurtures your prospects at scale, so that they are already warmed up and pre-sold by the time they book in with you, and you just basically a glorified order taker on your sales calls. They're just already so warmed up and pre-sold. And once you have the content pillar really drilled out, then every single piece of effort and capital that you put into cold emails and paid ads get exponentially boosted returns. Because, and here's the truth, remember how I told you that the source is not in the script? Well, what is the source of that? Well, every time your prospect actually sees your cold email, and if they actually are interested enough by your subject line, which is why those things are still important, but just not enough, if they're interested enough to actually look at your email, the first thing that they're going to do is actually Google you. They will look you up online. They will look up your social presence. And specifically, the way you can really set yourself up for success is by having long form content pieces for your target audience laid out in front of them on your YouTube channel to actually be prepared to educate your prospect at scale, which is something you can't really do properly with short form alone, although short form can be a vital piece in capturing that wide funnel of top of funnel attention. Now, if you want help with actually drilling in this entire process to a T and actually getting results so that you're no longer stuck in fulfillment hell and you can actually make this transition properly and get results like these for your business as well and actually deliver sweet results like these for your clients, then you can book in a call to work with us. The link will be in the description and we will literally drag you through to your first acquisition experience and scale you way beyond that. We literally drag you through it where every single piece of the process is traced out in exquisite detail. And we make it unreasonable for you to fail, essentially. And if you want client success stories, you can see those in the community tab of my YouTube channel. They'll be posted up there as well. And if you want free resources, you can get access to them by joining the WhatsApp group. Our WhatsApp community is completely free to join. And you'll get access to those resources as well. Thank you for your attention. You owe it to yourself to actually start putting out content and building a leverage acquisition model through a creator business going content first. You owe it to yourself. Don't hurt yourself. Help yourself. Appreciate your attention. I'll see you in the next one.